Here is another that was done as a giveaway for the Beat Ball Blues show. Big shout out to the Beat Ball Blues. So the background is again what looks kind of like a worn out baseball. It's kind of got that white leather look, a few black spots on it here and there, and it has some red laces over the top of that. There's along the bottom are 3 Polaroid picture frames done in green with grass under them, and then one more up along the side along the words in blue, the Beat Ball Blues show. Each Polaroid frame has a picture on it. This one was for the winner, Darnell Booker, so he picked out his photos. There is a World Series ring in there, a picture of Booker with 2 people and a trophy, another very large group photo, a little bit hard to see the people in there. There's one of him with his team with their hands raised up, and then, like I said, that big large group photo in front of a tent. At the very top above the Beat Ball Blues show in raised tactile red metallic braille is the same, the Beat Ball Blues show. That is tactile, so you can feel it, and grade 2 or contracted braille. So there you have it. This is a 20-ounce tumbler. This is with the newer style lid, as these have finally arrived. Has a pop top for the drinking area here, and then it has another pop up area lid for the straw. This does screw on, so it's a little bit more secure, won't accidentally pop off. I like these better than the older style. So there you go, the Beat Ball Blues show. This one that they awarded on their show for Darnell Booker.
Hey, hey, Beat Baseball World! Welcome to episode number 112 of the Beat Ball Blues show with Neil Dog and Bam Bam. We are on full lookouts tonight, Seth Dog.
Look out for
know what
what?
that means, do you?
I have no idea. Well, tell me.
Enlighten
me.
Our new team from Oklahoma is no longer the Oklahoma Twisters. They are now the Oklahoma Lookouts. Not even 6 months into in their history, they've already got a name change.
Indecisive. I would hate to be one of the starters. Might be getting pulled in and out real quick.
The Oklahoma Twisters jersey I purchased is already outdated.
Hey, once they win a championship, dude, that'll be like a collector's item. I got a Twisters jersey. There were only like 8 of these made, man. Come on, man.
Before we jump too much further,
and I did want to say, we've done like 12 more shows than we have followers on YouTube, man.
Actually, it's like 16 more followers than we have on YouTube. I think the last number I saw is where you have like 96 followers now on YouTube. I think we've kind of plateaued.
Well, come on, people, you guys, if you are in the sound of my ear, go down and hit the follow button. So
hit the subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, subscribe so you can get updates, daily content.
Find out when we go live. Although now we record the show live on Facebook, we never go live. I never actually liked going live on our YouTube channel. Sorry, I had to turn my phone off. I never really liked how it all worked out when we went live on the YouTube channel, but I've thoroughly enjoyed coming on and just recording it live on Facebook.
Good.
Judging by the views, it seems like our audience likes it better. But on the subscriptions, why I say I think that we've hit a plateau, like it took us forever just to get to like 40 subscribers. And then in the 2021 World Series, all of a sudden we jumped from like 40 up to like 80 And so when it came around to the World Series, the 2022 World Series, especially since we're doing like live updates every single day of the World Series, I thought that we'd take a big jump again, jump from like 80 to 90. So, okay. Although those we considering like what we normally get for views, those episodes got a lot of views. So either way,
we sure the hell appreciate those 10 people, man. You know, everyone counts, Neil Dog. Everybody's important, man.
I hear that.
Everyone has value.
We should give a prize away to our number 100 subscriber. Speaking of prizes, on the YouTube side of things, people got a chance to see a video from DotShop before the show started, showing off the tumbler, the Beatball Blues Show tumbler that Rosina Foster made. This isn't what Darnell got, but Darnell Booker, by backing his way into a victory on
strategizing his way.
I think when Demo counted it up, he answered 3 questions on our Beat Baseball Jeopardy and won a tumbler from us.
Efficiency. You know what I'm saying?
But Rosina,
I'm just messing around. I keep distracting you, and we were supposed to get through this one quick. So I'm sorry. I'll be quiet. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Telling you that really is usually probably works in the inverse way of how I wanted it to work. But thank you to Rosina for hooking Darnell Booker up with his tumbler. I'm sure he will be happy with it. Everybody check out Rosina Foster, who does the play-by-play on the NBBA game of the day.
You got to put some rhyme to it. The NBBA or play-by-play of the NBBA game of the day with Rosina Foster.
Number 8 for Michigan State, 6'8", or whatever. I remember how much.
6'8", great for Michigan State.
That's it.
I'm sorry. Again, I'll be quiet now. Go ahead.
You won't, but it's all good. We're having fun. So
I know one of our guests won't let me get a word in edgewise, so you know.
No, we're not gonna let Timmy talk that much. Everybody knows Timmy already. We got all his teammates here. They got to get to know his teammates. Tomorrow I'm gonna get a text from Timmy like, the show was fun, but I thought you'd let me talk a little more. Nope, had to shut you down, Timmy.
You got a timer.
I got my orders from Mark. He said let everybody else talk.
Yeah, okay.
Your new master. Anyways, people, please, before I forget, check out DotShop. Go to Rosina Foster's Facebook page, DotShop. If you want to get some custom work done, a tumbler, coffee cup, T-shirt, you want to make up something to send her, she puts Braille on anything you want Braille on. So check out DotShop, and thank you, Rosina, for helping us out, helping us get prizes out to the people who mostly deserve them from our show. Now on to tonight's episode with the Oklahoma Lookouts. You know, Oklahoma, our sport is closing in on 50 years of history. 1976 was the first ever Beat Baseball World Series. And Oklahoma is a state that was very much part of our history for a long time in the early years of our history, but there hasn't been a team in Oklahoma since 2005. And now we have a team that is from Oklahoma, the Lookouts, that will be at the 2023 World Series. And we got a bunch of them here. And we will start with you, Timmy, and say hello to you real quick since everybody's familiar with you. And then we want to run down and introduce all your teammates. But Timmy, man, how's it feel to have another team from your home state back on the Beat Baseball, map?
On the home turf. I just love it. And I can't tell you how hard these guys hit me when the ball hits me. It's just, they just pound me out there, man. I don't know what to do with it.
All right, thank you. That was your time. No,
I'm done. Yeah, I got my complaining in. I'm done.
it's all right. Don't blame it on them, man. You've been hit and beat up by people all across the nation, man. It's nothing new. It's what you're known for, man.
That's
if you
what
weren't
I'm
taking
known
a ball
for.
off the noggin, you wouldn't beat Timmy, man. You wouldn't beat Timmy.
That's right.
Noggin, body.
I got Aaron sitting next to me here in my house. So
Well, since we're focused on you, we'll say I was going to go to Mark first since he's the leader, but since you're right there with Aaron Higbee, man, welcome to the show. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. How's everybody else doing tonight?
Everybody's doing good.
Don't ask Neil. You know he'll go on and on and on. Neil likes. To
I do have to say though, I think I'm the only one that hasn't hit Tim with a ball yet.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I never hit him with the ball either, man. You never could about that. Got me cut, man.
He probably hasn't hit him yet.
Oh, let me stop, man. Let me stop.
Yeah, I might have to mute you, Seth. Control tonight.
God, he's crying already. He's already crying. He's crying, man.
Actually, him
Timmy
saying
got
that
me
you
cut,
got him
man.
cut from the dogs brought some tears to my eyes too, to be honest. Both the truth, the funny, and the pain of it all just all summed up in a nutshell. Hey, Aaron, real quick, do you have any history in beat baseball, or is this your first experience?
This is my first experience with it.
All right. Well, as
He
we go,
played a little football before he played, when he was in school and stuff as he was growing up.
yeah, hey, Timmy, man, we'll take care of it.
Timmy, we got it, man. We got it, man.
I might have to mute you and Seth.
Me too.
No, Aaron, we are going to come back to you. We'll get more of your, we'll get everybody's history as we come back through. But Mark, man, let's focus on you. You seem to be one of the team leaders here, man. How's it going, Mark? Welcome to the show.
No, hey, thanks for having us. This is exciting, Neil and Seth. For goodness sakes, Seth, you don't even know what team you're having on. You're a heck of a host. Real tight ship you all got running here. My God.
I'm here strictly for controversy and giggles.
And then he follows everything up with the Beavis and Butthead laugh. No, hey man, we love being here. You all seem like a blast, and we're just we're thankful for getting to talk beat baseball. A lot of us are new. So just glad to be here, man.
Same question to you. Do you have any previous experience beat baseball wise, or is getting the lookouts your first project?
First project. I know we'll get into history. I grew up playing baseball, went blind, wanted nothing to do with beat baseball, and it took me till last year to start trying it out, and I love it. I know I don't want to go too much into it. We're doing intros, but no, this is played my first game in St. Louis in Missouri last, what was that, boys?
I think
November.
Oh,
Yeah.
November. Okay. Yeah, no, a lot of people, you guys instantly were on people's radar from that game just because you played a good experienced team. You guys were out there competing, and it's not usual to see, just like the rest of the world, beat baseball is right-hand dominated, and to see a lineup of left-handers like, whoa, they got Timmy out there pitching a bunch of lefties, man. This could be something.
We're looking forward to another piece of the Archers. We had them right where we wanted after 3 innings, and we just fell apart. So don't worry, Archers. We'll get you next time.
Don't get what's the dude? You're gonna get Chad Dillon going. Don't call Chad Dillon out.
You talking about Big Mouth Chad?
Okay, here we go.
That boy he couldn't even find the base.
Oh, we've all had that problem a time or two. It's okay.
They weren't beeping, good God.
So I'm going to assume Kyle, Ivy, you and Mark are brothers. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep.
Same thing to you. Welcome to the show.
Same what? Same mother? Yeah, same mother.
But different fathers. No,
Same father, easy.
just kidding.
Whoa, time out. Did you just talk about our mom?
No. I do realize how it sounded like that, though. No, I was just trying to get in on the fun. I know better. I should leave
I
it.
thought this was a family show.
I should leave it to Seth. My bad. Seth, although you should have known that's not the case when Seth dropped the F-bomb.
Yes, let me do the lightning rod deal, dog.
No, Kyle, the same question to you. Is this your first experience around beat baseball?
Yeah, same as Mark. Actually, across the board. But my first experience actually with b-ball wasn't playing it. It was when the World Series was in Tulsa. I met it was Jason Price at that point. I heard about Tim, and yeah, so it's awesome.
Very cool. Well, we will. We're gonna get into everybody's like kind of background and all that. What led you here? We'll keep going down the line. And I'll bring up Casey. Casey Bond, yep. Right? Last name.
Yep. Yes,
Casey,
sir.
man, I know you've been around.
Oh yeah, 14 years.
I don't know your whole history. I know you've played mostly with Long Island. Is that correct?
I started off with Philly, and then I went to New Jersey Lightning for as long as they were around, and then I went to the Bombers because the New Jersey Lightning just kind of disbanded. But I mean, I've helped out and played with over 11 teams in my career so far. But
yeah,
I
know just like last summer alone, I saw you on it. You played one tournament with Gateway, if I remember right. Didn't you?
Yeah, I played with Gateway. I've played with the Timberwolves. But I mean, I've always wanted to coach, so this is a dream come true.
Are you a player or are you a coach?
Yeah,
both.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I play and I coach.
I was excited when I found out that you were going to be part of their roster because
that's nice.
Because I know you're experienced, and even though like they've got you guys have an experienced pitcher and some athletes that you're throwing together. There nothing makes up for experience, so I was glad they grabbed you. All right, we're going to come back around to you and get some more on you and your background. But I got to bring up my boy, Davey Gwynn. David, man, he's probably all muted up.
I hope not. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you, Davey. What up, baby?
A whole lot. How are you doing? It's been a long time, since I've been with you in the set.
I'm gonna make Mark Ivy more unimpressed with Seth. Seth, do you remember being teammates with our boy Davey here? See, you don't even know. You're he's a teammate of ours, man.
Yeah, I remember because we flew down to Oklahoma,
right,
and to practice, and he was on that team. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was with us, and one of the reasons you don't remember is because he was the first series with us was 06, which is the year. For the audience sake, Seth spent the entire 06 World Series in the hospital. The World Series was in Cleveland, flew all the way there, was sick on the plane, ended up with meningitis, went straight from the airport to the hospital via
helicopter.
Via helicopter.
Life flight, man. Life flight.
Second time he's made it into a life flight.
Right. Very impressive. Yeah. But so you're right. That I probably would.
I thought Seth had made it out to watch us Saturday when we played. I thought so when we played Houston for I guess that would have been officially the semis for us to get to the championship game, and then we faced Taiwan in the championship game. I thought Seth was there. I could be wrong.
No,
Hell no!
he-
I never left the hospital until the following.
Did you not?
I think Tuesday. I flew out the following Tuesday or Wednesday. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was hospital bound, man. It was.
But that 06 year, we the Dogs, we made it. We lost the championship, but we made it to the championship game. Came up through the losers bracket. But man, we were beat to hell. Like you never made it there because you're in the hospital, obviously. So we were short you. And then along the tournament, we got banged up and had some injuries. By the time we got to the championship game, Chance was knocked out. Man, this dude Davey started right next to me up front in the championship game, man.
And I gotta tell the story that I remember. I was thinking of this early. So Chance gets hurt in the Houston game, and I have to come in, and I'm playing in the 2 position. So we're up by 1. We're with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Houston's at bat. Daryl Minor steps to the plate, and he hits a shot. I hear it sailing over my head, and I literally thought to myself, "Okay, I know this game is now tied up. I hope he did not just knock it over the line for a game winner." And then I hear this ball or whatever behind me, and Lex Joliet had come over and made one of the most amazing plays I've ever been a part of to save the game for us. So if Lex Dog listens to the show or what have you, if he's out there someplace, Lex Dog, I know I thanked you that day. I thank you again, because that was one of the most amazing plays. And boy, I felt like he saved my bacon.
The best thank you could give him, though, is learning his last name. Lex Gillette.
Gillette.
Just like the razor. You're good, man. But that dude's a world record holder. We gotta get his name straight.
Yes.
But nah, that year, out of all that I played for over 20 years, that's my proudest season of my entire career. Just because of the grit that we showed and everything we went through that week. I don't know. I know, even though it wasn't a year when we won the championship, I'm very proud of that season. It means a lot to me. Davey, we're gonna come back around to you, and I'm gonna find out more of your history and all that. Mark, man, let's start out with you. What is your what's your history in sports? How'd you go blind? All that good stuff.
So I grew up in a huge baseball family. Dad played college baseball. My older brother umpired professional baseball, did some minor leagues up in New York. I played competitive baseball my whole life. Kyle's played ball. And so when I just grew up playing ball, that's what our family did.
Right.
And went to Jinx High School in Tulsa, Oklahoma, playing high school ball. And I knew I had RP because Kyle, it hit him, RP, retinitis pigmentosa, for your 4 listeners listening. That stands for retinitis pigmentosa.
Don't attack our listeners or our show. We can mute you too.
I'm sorry. We got 96. Hey, and after this, you're gonna have 97, y'all. I'm a listener for life now. Y'all are
not gonna get you a prize though. You're too early.
I want one of those. What is it? DotShops or something? I'm in. I want one of those. All right. But no. So I started. I knew I was having some trouble at night. When I was about 14, 15 years old. So mainly when pot flies would get above the lights, I would lose it. And with retinitis pigmentosa, your night vision goes first. And so, it got to the point where I played first base, I pitched and in high school. And it got to the point before I had to stop playing that like my second baseman would grab pop-ups during night games, and then during day games, again with retinitis pigmentosa, your peripheral starts closing in. So I would I usually batted around second. I'd bat in the 2-hole, 3-hole, and I would just walk back to the dugout and be like, "Boys, like that guy's bringing it today, huh?" And they're just like, you know, we faced this guy before, not really, and just the ball getting on me quicker, right? And so I was a junior in high school, and eventually I had to quit. I had moved down to, I wasn't starting for this upcoming season, my senior season, I wasn't going to start. And it was because I couldn't see the daggum ball, and no one's looking for a blind first baseman, unless we're talking beat baseball, which is where we'll get to. But I stopped playing, and I remember when I started losing my vision. Everyone on here can probably relate that everything just kind of gets dumped on you on what you got to start doing to learn how to be blind, right? Use a cane, do this, and I just wanted nothing to do with that. I was angry. I was, at the time, the only real issue was not seeing at night. I was still driving. And so I just was trying to dismiss everything, and including beat baseball. I had a gentleman reach out to me when I was about 19. Kyle, do you remember his Bobby Lakey, maybe?
Seth played with Bobby Lakey. He's a really good defensive player.
Yeah, we had breakfast with him. In fact, he was coming the week before from some tournament or something, had a busted up nose, and anyways, was trying to pitch me beat baseball when I had just stopped playing, actual baseball. I was going to play some junior college ball, and I was just bitter about it. And he started explaining it to me, and I'm not gonna lie, I was like, that is the dumbest thing. You take your beat ball and I'll tell you what to do with it. I wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And so fast forward, I'll keep it short. Fast forward to now, and this pains me, guys. This pains me big time, but I'm going to give Casey Bunn some props. Sorry, I almost threw up in my mouth. Casey is the reason we are all here today.
Oh, wow.
Casey came work. We're all New View employees. New View, Oklahoma. We're the largest employer of people who are blind and have low vision in the state of Oklahoma. We are not a New View team. We're an Oklahoma team. But since we are the largest employer, that obviously we have a lot of folks who would want to play. And so we had a few adaptive sports going, and we were trying to get some beat baseball going. And I had no idea what I was doing, or really, I didn't have respect, I guess, or understand how big of a effort it is to get a beat baseball team going, not just by putting roster spots, but all the volunteer help that it takes.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know what was going on. And then Casey comes and works for us. And before he came to Oklahoma, I had talked to him on the phone, and he told me about his beat baseball history. And so anyways, he gets to Oklahoma, and within a couple of months, I'm meeting Tim Hibner. I'm meeting, obviously I've met and working with Casey. And next thing I know, we're on a field with a couple of guys who are getting after it. And so I say this all the time. Casey's one of the big reasons we're all here right now with you all and competing in the World Series coming up.
Nice.
Let me ask you a real quick question. So you met Bobby Lakey when you were 19, and then you fast forward. How many years are we talking between when you first heard about beat ball and then when you finally took Casey up on this opportunity?
I'm 33. So what?
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Right.
13, 15 years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I had the same reaction hearing about beat baseball. I was younger. Like, I lost my eyesight just before I turned 11. And when I was like 13 or 14, my mom saw something about beat baseball on TV. She's like, wow, Neil, there are blind people playing baseball on TV. And I was like, that's stupid. And I made no effort. It was like 4 or 5 years later when I learned about the World Series in this game and fell in love with it. So I had the same reaction as you.
Yeah, I had it across the board with all adaptive sports. My little Kyle was playing goal ball in Tulsa. I wasn't playing goal ball either. He talked me into playing goal ball. Kyle and I went to Colorado Springs to do a train with the Olympic team for this week-long program they had. And that's when, I should have known then, I should have been more open to it all. Because when I got there, we got humbled. I was like, dadgum, these are some athletes, man. Like, this isn't, you you don't even think about someone being blind. You think about them being athletes because that's what they are. So I should have known then, but I'm stubborn and it still took me an additional 5-6 years. And then y'all talk about the World Series. I pop on YouTube games and I'm like, holy cow, these dudes are for real. And so it definitely put things into perspective on the competition we're up against.
Yeah. Kyle, let's pop you up, man. Your brother's mentioned you a few times. What's your background in history? It sounds like you have a little more background in the blind world and blind sports.
Yeah. He's older, but I've been blind longer, so
Congratulations.
He's like, loser.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah. So I mean, Mark mentioned we have RP. Mine started getting bad when I was in 7th, 8th grade ish. That's when I stopped playing baseball. I never played it to the competitive level Mark did. I mean, I played it, season long and all that, but we were on a team that my oldest brother, Mark mentioned, was an umpire. He was actually umping that league for a while, and we were so bad, my team, that the umps would be up in their little house betting on to see how far we would make it in a tournament. Made it to the semis that year.
To put things into perspective, I umpired some of Kyle's games too, and if you were behind the plate during his games, you were taking a beating because the daggum catcher couldn't catch the ball. It sucked.
Yeah, but we were a slightly cleaner version of the Bad News Bears. But but I mean, I love baseball. Loved playing it. Even it was just getting out there with buddies and playing ball. And then watching baseball, listening to baseball, all of it's it still carries on. And so when we heard about beat ball, it was like, how in the world do you play baseball if you can't see a thing? And obviously it's adapted, and it's, gosh, in a lot of ways it's harder. Like it's not easy. When we played the Archers, it was a windy day, and it's like, you can't see anything. It's the first time getting competitive play, and then you can't freaking hear anything.
Yeah.
Which is,
That was brutal.
The first time you try to run to a base when the wind is blowing, because like when you run, the wind blows.
Hey, thank God. Now the show can start, boys.
You cut out Neil, dog.
He was really dragging this thing down.
Can you guys
You're
hear
frozen
me
up,
now?
Neil. We're laughing at you freezing up. Now ask your question.
We can hear you, Neil. Dog. Go ahead.
All right. Whenever it freezes up like that, just keep going forward. There's nothing.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was about to finish your question for you, Neil. Dog. So it's all good.
That's the second time in a row that my mine's never locked up like that before. But it's and I run an Ethernet cable to my laptop, so it won't do that. So I don't know what to do. It is what it is, I guess.
Hey, don't say that. My mom hates that phrase, but just say. Go ahead.
Fair enough. I don't even know what I was asking. Do you?
You were asking. Do you have anything else to say?
I know. So Mark, I don't know if it was what I was because you were talking about how windy it was that day, and I was like, the first time you try to run to a base when the wind's blowing, that's. I mean, it's tough to try to field balls, but when you run, there's already wind blowing in your ears, and you're trying to use your ears to find the base. But when you run into wind, it's like you have a tornado going through your ears, and you're trying to pick out where the heck the base is. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. And the bases they used in that tournament were awful.
Casey's still mad about the bases.
Shot fired.
Hey,
It's fine, Casey.
Real quick with you, Kyle, because Mark had mentioned you guys getting into goalball together, but you've been blind longer. So is kind of what he expressed as far as goalball and beatball your total experience too, or did you venture into the world a little more?
Yeah, so we have a center in Tulsa local. It's a center for individuals with physical challenges, and they started doing goalball. At the time, we had a big group of people, and Mark was, I think he was in Edmond at the time with school or something, but yeah, I mean, it was a big turnout, and then it kind of dwindled for a while, and so we were just struggling to find some players, but it was more of it was a weekly scrimmage for local players. And then we got word, or we heard about that clinic that the USA team was putting on, and went there, and that's when it took a turn for, hey, we could, this is fun. Mark and I never got to really compete together because we were about 4 years apart. And so being able to be on the same team and either get, hammered by a 6'6" guy that probably weighed 280 or rally and, end up coming in third in that tournament. It was a ton of fun. And that passion, that that competitiveness that you feel that I felt in baseball, when we were doing good, it came back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly same deal with those couple games we had in Missouri against the Archers. It was
Yeah, the adrenaline, like you miss the adrenaline and you think you're not going to get it back in sports, and then you get it back. And I've had a lot of great, awesome, cool moments in sports, but I'll tell you what, the best moment I've ever had was that first pitch, first hit, first run at the Archers game. I mean, I'm dead serious. I know that was a kind of a non-sanctioned scrimmage or whatever, but I mean, that's how much, and everyone on this call, I guarantee feels the same way, but that's what I've been chasing. And I'm just, Kyle, I mean, we've talked about it before. We're just glad we found it.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that gets talked about a lot from Seth and I, and, from other guests on the show. There's not a lot of team sports for the blind to go to. So if you're somebody who loves playing sports and love playing team sports, there's very little out there that provides what beat baseball does.
Makes me miss it, Neil Dog. You know what I'm saying? I want to go compete again, Neil Dog, but
there's an old timers game coming up. Yeah. Hey, that's a little Major League 2 quote there for you.
Hey, Aaron, let's pop you back up here. Yeah, let's get some more of your background.
All right. I started playing t-ball when I was about 5, and then my dad asked me when I was 6 if I want to play football, and then I kind of never went back to any other form of baseball until.
Why would you? I'm sorry.
I just started playing football, and that was kind of what I did. And basketball, but then I started losing my eyesight. I was kind of like Mark. I ended up kind of having the night vision problems. I have RP as well. And when I was probably 13, 14, and then ended up stopping driving about 21. When I first heard about beat baseball, it was actually from Chris Touton. I'm sure y'all know that name.
I've heard that. I know that name, but I'm drawing a blank on.
He played for the Bombers.
Yeah, he played for the Bombers.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I remember Chris.
And
what him and Tony.
Yeah.
Tony Garza.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, him and Tony Garza was on the team. Yeah, come up from Texas.
That's a great baseball name, Tony Garza.
Yeah, right.
Right. But
There's an animal out there.
I was probably 24 when I heard about it, and I was wanting to kind of get his team started, and just couldn't find anybody else that wanted to until this last year. So, and now I'm really loving it because like I said, I played football all my life. Sorry, I'm not sure what else to say about it.
When you played football?
Talking about myself.
When you played football, what was your thing? What do you do?
I was a fullback and a middle linebacker.
Nice. Seth coaching.
He's banged a couple off the wall over there at the indoor center where we've been at. He gets a hold of the ball. He can get it moving.
He's the babe.
Are you one of the left-handers, Aaron?
No, I'm right-hander.
Okay. All right. Just trying to get our audience familiar with you guys. Seth coaches youth football, so and we're both football fans. So you're talking our language if you've been involved in football.
I love football. I'm trying to get my son to start playing, but he's resisting.
Tough one.
Hey, yeah.
And so you've just been playing for the year or whatever? Is that?
Yes. Yeah, I started when Kyle and Mark started.
All right.
I had kind of given up on playing competitive sports really until Mark called me up and said, "Do you want to play?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, let's give it a go."
That your interaction with like Chris Tuton, that had to have been a long time ago, right? Because it's been a long time since he's been around.
He still works at the league though.
Well, okay.
He retired, a couple years ago.
A couple years ago, but he worked at the league even after he quit playing ball for quite a while.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. So that was probably 11 years ago, probably when we talked about it.
That's fair. I for some reason expected it to go back further than that. Casey, let's bring you up, man. Fair enough. I just like to bring people up to my age, so I don't feel so old.
I'm 35.
I'm closer to Timmy's old ass than I am the rest of you guys. So
maybe David's closer to you. I don't know.
I feel like I'm knocking on the door.
Hey Casey, let's bring you back up now and get more of your history. Like how long you been blind? How'd you find beat baseball?
Well, I lost my vision in my right eye when I was 2.5 to a brain tumor, which then due to alternative chemo took my full eyesight when I was like 8.5.
Mute your phone, Timmy.
Left and left again.
Timmy, no talking in the back of the class, people.
He's giving Aaron directions to the bathroom. That's the problem with drinking beer during the show.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, just kidding. Go ahead, Casey. We were just trying to shut Timmy up so everybody hear you.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, so I lost total vision when I was like 8.5. And kind of like what Mark and them said, I just kind of gave up on playing competitive sports. And then when I was about, 19, a friend of mine's mom, who actually works with my mom, talked about this blind baseball. And at that point, it was a recreational team right near where I lived. And I was not hesitant at all. I dove in head first. I came and, every single practice I was there with bells on. I mean, I was ready to kick some ass, so quite frankly. So yeah, it was a lot of we just had a recreational team. We had one other team around us that was within 45 minutes of us that we played twice a year. Other than that, it was just anyone that showed up. We put a blindfold on, split into two groups, and played. So it was, it was a lot of fun. But
You finding your way onto this squad. Like when you moved to Oklahoma, it sounded like you went there for a job. Did
yeah, so
you? Go ahead.
I'm sorry, finish your question.
Well, I like, were you at that time just planning on still like staying on the path you've been on beat baseball wise, or did you have an idea to get a team going in Oklahoma?
So, when I first started talking to Newview about working there, Ranita had mentioned, she's one of our staff members, had mentioned that there was a beat baseball team in the works, and that Mark and Kyle are the two that I need to talk to. And if there were any doubts in my mind about taking this job, right there and then is what secured it. Like I was like, good pay. I teach technology to the blind. They bring the people to me, and I'm gonna be playing beat baseball. I was like, I'm in. I don't care how far I have to move. So, yeah. So I ended up taking the job. And I moved from Pennsylvania to Oklahoma, and I mean I got the job, and within 2.5 weeks I was able to, very fortunate to lock down an apartment, and I moved out here. And 2 weeks after that I started at Newview. So it was all very boom boom boom, but it was everything from the very beginning was exactly what I've been looking for.
So, hey, Casey, beat baseball was the decide. I mean, that what pushed you over the edge to come to Oklahoma? I never heard that.
I mean, I think I would have came either way, but I mean, it definitely made it a heck of a lot sweeter.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I could relate to that. I mean, I gave up a lot of during my years of playing. I gave up a lot of personal life for this game, and like I could understand being in that situation, thinking, man, you know what, this has everything I need. So
I'll say this: I wouldn't have turned down the job if beat baseball wasn't in it, but I would have been out here looking for a team to pick me up, because I'm not willing to give up beat baseball.
No, I understand that. And since you've been around a lot and you're kind of coaching this team, how do you see things like shaping up for you guys since you have experience? Like how do you feel about the squad? I know it's still early, but how do you feel about this particular group going into the first year?
I think we're shaping up great. I mean, we could definitely use some more people, because we're kind of stuck on like 6. But we have had some people reach out, to join the team. But as far as batting and fielding and running and everything, we're going to be a force. I don't know how high we'll rank, but I'm excited to see where we go.
Nice. Davey, man, let's bring you back into the picture. And even though I was a teammate with you and we started in a championship game together, I have no idea what kind of your background is. Like, how long you've been blind, how you found beat baseball, and have you played any other blind sports outside of beat baseball?
No, well, I guess so. Yes, I had. So I lost my vision 2 and 3 years old. I was diagnosed with retinoblastoma at 18 months old. I lost, I believe it was the left eye first. When I was 2, they tried to save the right eye with the radiation and such, but it didn't work. And so they eventually had to take my left eye out. So I've been blind since 3. And later this month, I turned 45. So it feels funny to say that I've been blind for over 40 years. I went to school at the Oklahoma School for the Blind in Muskogee, Oklahoma. If people might be familiar with that town name from an old country song. That's right.
That's Seth's favorite country song. I think.
Hey, I'm an Okie too, man, but I ain't from Muskogee or whatever the hell.
Wait, is that Merle Haggard or who is that?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, I went to the school for the blind at in fourth grade, and I took up wrestling in about the fifth grade, I think, and wrestled all the way through my senior year. And then the way I found out about baseball was when I was, I want to say, gosh, 7 or 8 years old or so. My parents were part of an organization that involved parents and teachers that, parents of visually impaired kids and teachers that worked with the visually impaired. It was Parents and Friends of the Visually Impaired is what the name of the organization was. Every spring or summer, it seemed like it was around May-ish, somewhere in there, they would have a group picnic, and they would have a couple of the guys from the Bombers would come out. That's how I got to know Tim Hibner. And then Ron Whaley was usually there there during those times, and I don't know how many years they did that demo, but there was even one year where there was I don't know. I think one year many years I don't think there was very many kids there, but one year there was enough of us there where they actually split us up and actually had a ball game for about two innings or so. That was fun. And fast forward, probably about 1991, I think. I'm about 12, 13 years old, and I started thinking, that'd be cool to play. I wonder how we can find out about playing. I talked to my dad, and he called Ron Whaley, and that was about the middle of the summertime. I went out and started practicing with the team, and so it was the following year that I got to go to my first World Series, and I think this is 1992. So some little key points that if somebody within the NBBA historian department can dig this up, this will tell you what year this was. The World Series was in Minneapolis, and it was the year that the Austin Blackhawks won their first World Series in what became a string of 8 consecutive championships. So
Davey, make no mistake. I never have to go to any NBBA historian. I'm right here, baby. 1992, Davey.
I'm out.
1992.
Did you say 8 in a row?
They won. Actually, they won 7 in a row.
Was it 7?
Yeah,
okay.
7.
Has that been done since? That's a dynasty.
That's never been done. That's the longest streak that any team have, and they've won.
How did they win? Oh, I'm sorry. I won't. But then my memory is horrible. But didn't Kansas win in '97?
No.
No.
Austin won from 92 to 98. So they won 7 in a row, and then they got 2 more later. So overall, they have the most championships at 9. Albuquerque True Sight, they have 8 total. They had owned the original record of 6 in a row. So
okay.
Hey, I got a quick question. Sorry to interrupt David, your history, but
you guys won another 4, right? Well, Neil, you guys won another 4 with me in there, right?
Yeah. The Dogs have the 3rd most with 7 championships. Kyle, what were you trying to ask?
Oh, I was asking how with some of these teams, I'm noticing that there's a lot of out-of-staters. Was everyone from Austin or from Texas?
Their entire team was not only from Texas, but the majority of their players were all from the Austin area.
Oh, wow. And that's not common, right? I'm learning different.
It depends.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think there's a teams just kind
Houston
of
or
put.
Chicago might be able to do that. Honestly, I think I don't know for sure, but it seemed like a lot of times that most of the people for Houston or Chicago are from those areas. I think
There are teams that are mostly. A lot of our teams are mostly local, and
Okay.
I don't know. It's
But
kind of a
sometimes
mix.
yeah, and sometimes I mean it's like, is it if they have one person, does that make them have out of state players? Like I mean, Albuquerque had a lot of Albuquerque type players or whatever. Um, so and the Dogs had people. It wasn't until the Tim Hibner era that we became and the All Star team. I wasn't on it at that point in time. I wasn't an All Star. Tim got me cut early on, but most of the teams.
It's not, it doesn't hurt at all, does it? Doesn't bother you to get.
Hey, that's going to be my new narrative, man. I missed out on four championships because Tim Hibner got me cut. But yeah, so yeah. I mean, I think the good teams, right? The Thunder, right? I mean, the good teams.
They're mostly local.
They're local.
The Edge,
So.
even though they've got players from out of state, are mostly local. In the end, I honestly, Kyle, I think teams mostly just do the best they can. Like you guys right now only have 6 players, right? And you need at least like 3 more to go to the 5-day tournament. Like with our team with the Dogs, like we didn't go around looking. Like we get accused by people who weren't around when we were doing it of going around and cherry picking all the best players we could. It was never like that. Like as we lost our local players, we need to keep going to keep a team going. We needed players, so we ended up with players from out of state. Like we ended up playing with Tim and Davey here because, like in 04, I played with Oklahoma because the Dogs didn't make it to the World Series that year. We didn't have enough players, and the Dogs in Oklahoma were in the same boat. We were running out of players, and both franchises were struggling to stay a team. And Tim and I had developed a great friendship, and man, we were like, look, one way or another, we're going to get a team to the World Series, whether it was mostly Oklahoma or mostly the Dogs. Between us, we were going to make sure there was at least one team. And for a while, we were able to keep 2 teams going, but eventually we did kind of combine. But it was out of need, not a desire to build a super team. You know what I mean?
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
But I think that's the case with most teams. Not all the teams, but with most teams, people are taking on people because they want to have enough to get to the World Series with a full roster. So.
Yeah, we're about to have open tryouts here in a couple months. We have a JT from Atlanta who played with us in that Missouri scrimmage. He's on our team, and then I tell you, old Timmy came home to us, and next thing you know, Casey's phone starts blowing up. And,
it's so much easier to get players when you have a pitcher, a good pitcher that people know. Hey, Davey, man. But before we kind of open this up to the team altogether, I wanted to ask you because you haven't played, to the best of my knowledge, since 07. So what's
That's
it
correct.
like for you to come out and have a team there locally that you could be involved with again? How's that been for you?
That's been awesome, and just a blessing because even I think since I've been away, I think the last World Series I had Crystal, my wife, with me there in Rochester.
Yeah.
Well, since then, we've had a daughter, and she's 13 now, and
wow.
a year or 2 ago, we started talking, and Crystal was like, she was kind of expressed an interest in at least being able for us to be able to some way find a way to be involved with beat ball again, at least so our daughter could be exposed to it. Not sure if she'd ever play or anything like that, but just for her to kind of see that there's an example that there are people that are blind that can get out and do things. So that's been a real awesome blessing that, hey, we've got a team firing back up here. hey, I'm not having to make phone calls to people that might. I don't know how many people that were still playing back whenever I left. They're still around. There's a number of them, but I don't know how many are still involved. So, you know, that'd be a tough ask to ask a team to take on a guy that had he played, but it's been 15 years since he's seen the field. So that's been awesome to just be able to be back out there again, and just kind of to echo what Mark and I think Kyle were talking about, how that first game out against the Archers, you know, feeling that adrenaline of for them for that first time and kind of for the first time in many years. I kind of felt that too in that game. And you know, I literally, I think I kind of said first time I was walking up to the plate in that scrimmage, I'm wearing my old jersey number 30. I kind of said to myself, old number 30 is coming back.
No, David, Aaron worked together at one point all out at Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma. And David, you bringing this up, it reminds me when, I don't know, whatever it was, 6-7 years ago, David and I worked in the same warehouse building, and all we did was listen to baseball and talk baseball. David would witness me losing a lot of money on my baseball bets. And I forget, my employers don't love hearing that, betting him. But anyways, no, David started talking about beat baseball and trying to, David, I don't know if you remember this, but you were like, hey, how could we go play again? At the time, we just didn't have the infrastructure or the funding to really get going. But David was the first beat baseball player that I've ever met or really talked to about. And I'll tell you, you start talking beat baseball, and I've found this right here with you guys. I've found it listening to these games on YouTube. I've found it when we were in Missouri, all having a good time the night before. Talking ball is talking ball. You know what I mean? And it's the same feeling. It's fun, you know.
It is. In regards to your comment, David, it was hard to take on a guy that hasn't played for 15 years.
I kind of thought that was a tough thing as a coach to swallow a little bit, but
yeah,
he was desperate.
That's all right. You proved yourself the first practice.
I'm kidding.
Davy's got a glove, man. Put him somewhere up front. He'll track down those balls.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Casey's got him up front.
Yeah,
I do have him up front. He's still as quick. I don't know how quick he was back in the day, but he gets to that ball real fast.
Nice. He's a hungry dog chasing a bone out there on the field, man. I like Davey on defense.
Oh, yeah.
Timmy, let's get you back in, man.
All right, what do you want?
Oh, wait, Tim's here?
Yeah, right.
Or don't waste your 30 seconds.
I was just going to say, we got 30 more seconds for you. No, man, like what, cause you've played on championship teams. You moved over. You've been pitching with the Austin Blackhawks, one of the league's most historic franchises, and you were willing to leave them to come be part of this new project. So how you've been feeling with your decision, and how do you like where this is going?
Well, I asked them before I did anything. It's not like, I went and told them what I was going to do. I had made a promise to them, and I felt like I had basically completed that promise. That they had two pitchers and this team had no pitchers. So I asked them. I said, "Are we in a position where you guys can go it yourself, and I can help build this team here?" Because I went out and played the Carolina team. I went up and tried to start the Kansas team. I'm about building the league over the period of time that I've been without a team. I've tried to work for what I call corporate and tried to build teams, or at least bring teams into the fold. And when they started showing promise, and that's what it wasn't about for me. It wasn't about the how good they were. It was about the dedication they had. course, you know I got a field out here. We go out and play in my field out here behind my house.
Right.
And when they started showing up on a regular basis, I knew then that they were serious about playing ball. And if somebody's serious about playing ball in my hometown, I've got to try. I've got to try to get that going again, and that's what we're doing.
Hey Tim, I love. So some of this is new to me because at the time I was so naive to the game, y'all. I did not understand how important the pitcher was, right? And I mean, everyone anyone who knows beat baseball is just, already knows this, but I just didn't know how. And I also didn't know you were feeling us out. I remember that first day we showed up, me, Kyle, Casey was there, Aaron. What did you think of just your first? What was your first thoughts on what you were seeing?
Oh, I had Dave back, and I like, like Dave said, I've known him since he was 7 or so years old. And if Dave's going to be there, I was sitting in the room when Dave drank his first beer.
Unfortunately, it was that same year.
Yeah, right.
When he was 7. Put him right to sleep.
So anyway, it's like a homecoming, you basically, Mark treats me like Neil used to treat me, and
thank you. Hey, Mark, you're a good man. Whenever it seems like you're hurting his feelings, he's about ready to cry, just walk up and kick him and just go deeper.
Yeah, when he goes down and he looks like he's hurt, just stomp him a couple of times. Tell him, get up. No, I really feel bad for Kyle, though. I mean, he's up in Tulsa and he doesn't get as much time with the team. But, when he come to the game, he come off the field and he had mud all over him. And he was out there chasing that ball down in the wind. And, when he come off the field, I said, man, you're dirty. He said, my dad told me if I ain't dirty, I ain't playing hard enough. Okay. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's a fun deal, and I enjoy the guys, and I enjoy the camaraderie, going to dinner with them, going out and going to a indoor practice facility and doing stuff and preparing for another battle.
Yeah. Amen.
Since you guys have an audience here of tens and tens of people, on a serious note.
Hey, at least you did an hour and a half ago when the show started.
Since you guys are a small group, do you have a shout out? Are you guys just still trying to bring local people into the fold? Do you want some people to reach out if they're looking for a team? Where are you guys at with all that?
Well, we were, like I said, we're going to hold some open tryouts so Tim made a good point. You can't, you want to build for the league, right? And I mean, we're thrilled to have you too, but that is the grand plan of, we want to bring beat baseball to anyone and everyone who's interested in playing. And so if someone doesn't make the World Series team, we're never going to say, well, no, beat baseball for you, right? Well, I mean, if anything, we want to start another team. Like you mentioned, the Twisters, that will be, that could be a recreational team, right? We'll have folks come out to practice with us. We've been super, I hate saying the word blessed because it's used too much. We have been very blessed with some great funding and grants through folks throughout Oklahoma that's going to allow us to spread the sport throughout. And within that, we're going to take who can give us the best chance to compete. And then, like I said, Casey has a pocket full of contacts who we're reaching out to see if they're serious about coming and showing what they've got and maybe getting a roster spot on our competitive team.
That being said, we're not turning down anybody that might be interested in calling me.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, so reach out. Any insight on the name change that you could share?
Well,
from the Twisters to the Lookouts.
Debbie, I don't know if y'all know Debbie Sanders. We love Debbie. She used to live in Oklahoma. She's in Missouri, I believe. And she helped us get everything going too with the Twisters. So she already had her goal is to expand adaptive sports in the tri-state area around Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, Texas, and so she kind of had it all ready, right? And so we're just like, well, let's just do this. And me, again, being naive, I was like, I don't know, this isn't go anywhere. And of course, like I've told the Casey story now, look where we are now. And so that's why we were the Twisters. But at New View, we have an adaptive sports program. We do dragon boating, go ball. We do now beat baseball, and we are the Lookouts across the board. And so that's a main reason that we went with the Lookouts for this team. But the difference between the beat baseball team at New View and all the other sports is this is not limited to New View, right? We're, like I said earlier, we want to expand this throughout Oklahoma. So we're representing Oklahoma as a whole, whether you work here or not.
Nice. Before, because we've already gone pretty long on a serious note, before we wrap things up, is there
now you get serious. Okay.
Is there anything you guys want to add in there? Kyle, you got anything you want to add before we pop out of here? You've been quiet for a while. Anybody?
Yeah, I'm enjoying hearing everyone talk about like Mark said, it was ball's ball. So it's been awesome hearing everyone talk about it.
Nice.
Dave got his first strawberry. If he'd hold still, you could see it.
You don't see that right there?
Now back up a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, don't rub it.
Yeah, you can't put any dirt on it when it's on a plastic field. So
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna get a black eye too. I got hit.
I think we should. I want to throw out thanking the Blackhawks for being willing to give us Tim.
yeah, and that's exactly what. And I want everybody to know. I want to make sure everybody fully understands. That's exactly what happened. I just put it out there, and they said, "Go for it." They said they are the ones that actually come back to me and goes, we talked it over. Go for it, because they took me to Argentina. I've been down to the Dominican. I've been, and that's their goal, is to grow the sport. And even though it costs them something, they wanted to grow the sport.
Yeah,
Let me
Timbo, you stayed loyal. Leading up to that. I know the Blackhawks trust you. Everything you just said. I'm just going to mimic what you said. That is the God's honest truth. He didn't budge a bit with me until he until he did it right. So we're thrilled.
And we all wanted him to come to us, but he was like, I got to talk to them.
Yeah.
I made a commitment to them. So
yeah.
Let me ask you a hypothetical, Timmy. Because, you started that whole thing with, they had a couple pitchers and Oklahoma didn't have any. What if they said, man, we talked it over. We're going to give them our backup pitcher and keep you. What was your response?
Well, if that's what it was their choice. I'm telling you, it was their choice to make.
Let me interrupt. If that happened, I would say, Timmy, what kind of steak you like? Are you a beer guy? Hey, let's go talk about this over dinner before you make any rash decisions here.
Listen, they have a couple of other pitchers, and honestly, had they sent you Molly, you guys would have had a pitcher and one of the best spotters in the league. You would have been better off if they sent you Molly. But
no, I don't think so.
I don't think she's going anywhere though. She's got like one of those family things going in Austin, so you guys probably weren't getting her. I'm just trying to have fun with Timmy, anyways.
Hey, is she part of the
always with the
playing
tough
down there?
I know you.
David Gwynn, what'd you say, sir?
I was asking this lady that they were mentioning, is she part of the Simpson clan down there?
No, she is not.
Oh, okay.
To my knowledge.
She's the head coach's wife, is who she is.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
It's still a family thing. There's always family connections.
It's just
with
a
the
different
Blackhawks.
family. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a different family.
Hey, I just gotta say, I got the opportunity whenever I first heard that the World Series was coming to Oklahoma this summer. Tim reached out to me last year about this time. I think it was a February, and at that time, a few of the Blackhawks were coming up to do a little practicing at his place, and he invited me out. And so I've gotten to know a few of those guys, Brandon Chesler, Danny Brock, Mariano, those guys. So truthfully, thank you to the Blackhawks. That was a great time to get to know a few of those guys. And B, hey, thank you for allowing Tim to come to us.
Amen.
They're probably getting tired of him anyway. So.
Hey, no one gets tired of hitting.
Yeah, right. True that.
I don't
True,
know.
although I wouldn't really.
Neil complained one time when he come to play for Oklahoma. He goes, my legs are sore. I've never run the base that many times in my life.
Hilarious.
We should all have that type of problem, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, guys, might as well wrap this one up. But I appreciate you guys being part of this. Mark, man, thanks for setting all this up. You threw together a cool, fun group. Appreciate you guys all jumping in. When we tried to get you on before the end of the year, and it didn't work out. And I had more than one person reach out to make sure that we still had you on the radar. They're like, I wanted to get to know that team. So I'm glad everybody got a good view of what you guys got going on. Look forward to seeing it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Love you, Neil, dog.
Love you, Timmy, baby. I'm gonna get out of this before you start telling any of our dirty stories. All right, everybody. We will be back in a couple of weeks. Appreciate everybody. Thank you, Chris Jackson, for helping out. Thank you, Frank Porter, for getting the YouTube stuff all together. Thank you, Seth Dog, just for being you and showing up. I love you, baby. That is it. We'll catch you all next time.
Hey, Neil, what's the YouTube channel name?
The Beatball Blues Show. The handle is at TBBS 3013. If you want a shorter way to find it.
Thank you.
You bet. Everybody, we will catch you next time around. Everybody be well until then.